this is part 2 of my Yu-Gi-Oh talk on Blue Eyes and Red Eyes. So let's kind of go more into, since I talked a lot about the conversation on more of what those cards are and their support and the cards' meaning and what they do, let's go more into their comparison to the anime and maybe Kazuki Takahashi's original thought and intention. Now, from what I've seen on the original Yu-Gi-Oh, they pretty much are the first dragons to ever be seen in the show. And I'm talking about way back in season 1. Like, not even season 1, I mean season 0. That we call it here in America. Now, Red Eyes first played as, Blue Eyes first played as the main antagonist monster. That Blue Eyes was the almighty and all-powerful in the show. However, in the movie that came out for season 0, this one played a major role to the protagonist of the story. So, their meaning from the show that was talked about was Red Eyes had potential victory, while Blue Eyes had guaranteed victory. So, from the show, or the anime movie, one was owned by Seto while the other one was owned by this little pipsqueak. I can't remember his name from the top of my head, but again, one of the main issues was he walked around with the Red Eyes was very pompous about it. He was like, I have a Red Eyes, that makes me a great duelist. And Joey, or Jonoji in the original Japanese, hated the little kid for that. He thought that it didn't matter, you need the strength and the will to use it. And in many ways, that's what Red Eyes is. He needed to have the strength to use the Red Eyes to win. Well, Blue Eyes, he was just like, I have Blue Eyes. Unless I'm a Blue Eyes, I win. Screw you. Which, again, Seto Kaiba pretty much used a lot. That was his main support monster. And like we're talking about, Red Eyes is the boss in the card game, while Blue Eyes is more of a support. So, let's think of the meanings. What does that mean? One is potential, while the other one is guaranteed. Well, taking it a little step back and going to Pokemon, for example, in the Black and White series, both of those are dragons, and they both, one represented truth, while the other one represented ideals. Polar opposite, yin and yang, Taoism, and all that fun stuff. So, it's obvious like that these cards, while even though their design had a more Western design to them, they still had sort of an Eastern philosophy behind them. Not that neither one was good nor evil inherently, they were just very different, polar opposites, while being simultaneously coexistent to one another. And even then, people's own rivalry of them even added to that. When people look at Blue Eyes and Red Eyes, they immediately assumed rivalry, especially with the rivalry between Joey and Seto in the first series. Even though, for a lot of people, that created yaoi moments for them, puppy love and all that. Very weird. So, one thing that made them very different in the show was Joey actually had to work so much to get up in the Duel Monster series that he pretty much got the Red Eyes by winning a duel, and pretty much Seto just had them the entire time. And even their stories are very different. Joey was raised in a poor house with an abusive father, while Seto was raised in a rich house with an abusive father. Very weird similarity, yet different. They have very similar stories, but yet very different. Seto was an orphan, and then got adopted by a rich kid. Joey was raised by an abusive father. And even then, they're very similar and very different as well. Seto took care of his younger brother, who's really young, while Joey took care of his sister, who's assumingly only a few years younger than him. Not as young as Mokuba. So, in many ways, the characters that resemble these cards are very similar and yet very different. Raised in two different households while having very similar experiences. So, where does this lead up to? Well, in the original Japanese, for season 2 of Duel City, the Joey lost Red Eyes to a duel, and Yugi won it back, but Joey didn't take it back. I think in the original, in the English version, they had some dumb reason where Joey was saying, "Oh no, I want you to use it. I wanted it to help you become victorious. I want you to battle evil against it, and my Red Eyes can help you." Even though in the show he never used Red Eyes. Okay, great support, Joey. But in the original English, or in the, not the original English, in the original Japanese, Joey didn't want it back because he felt like he didn't earn it. He felt weak and powerless, that he felt like he didn't deserve Red Eyes. So he went out and said, "I don't want to rely on Red Eyes. I don't want to rely on it. I don't want to rely on my friends. I want to be strong and independent." And in the end of season 3, where they go through all of that, Joey actually managed to beat Yugi. Off screen, but still it's very, very indicated, canon-wise, indicated that he won. Why? When you look at that, and at the end of season 3, Joey and Yugi are gonna duel, and of course Joey has his Red Eyes back. And at the beginning of season 2, he said, "I want to get Red Eyes back by beating you." He wanted to beat Yugi. So he beats Yugi. That actually shows how much he grows in the show. At the beginning of the show, he was a horrible duelist. He had all monsters and had to go through training with his grandpa. Taya beat him. He was struggling with the tournament at the first series. But then in season 3, he managed to beat Yugi. That just shows how much he's grown from the beginning to end. And that just really shows that Kazuki Takahashi wanted Joey to grow. That he wanted him to go from the weakest one to the strong one. To pretty much rivaling everyone. And which I really like. Even though they don't show the duel, it's really shown that there's clear evidence that Jonochi won that duel. Or Joey. I'm just going to call him Joey because that's how most people call him. And even from Kazuki Takahashi, I remember there was an interview with him. I can't really link it, I'm sorry, but I remember Kazuki Takahashi stating that he always viewed Joey as the strong one. That Joey was the strongest one because, again, he grows. He doesn't have a crap ton of money like Seto. He doesn't have magical powers like Yugi. He's all on his own. And it's pretty much just the support of his friends that got him through. Support of his friends and the support of himself that made him get so far. And even then, there's a lot of showing that Joey was just as good as a duelist, if not better than everyone. Because when you look at, like, to say his duel with Merrick, when he duels him, he actually was going to win that duel. Except because of the way that there's a shadow game and him enduring the pain, it's because of all the pain that happened to him, he couldn't win. He couldn't finish. He was going to win. So, where does the whole thing draw the line of Taoism? How far can we go into Taoism thanks to that? Well, again, Joey and Seto having very similar yet very different backstories, and then their iconic monsters being these two, are really just sort of evident enough when you look at the characters. One card represents potential victory, the other one represents guaranteed victory. Ideals versus truth. And when you look at their plays out, very different, yet very similar. That they basically coexist with each other. So, from all that, let's also look at. So, from all that, there's just a lot of very fun and playful things to do for the show. And by that I mean there's a lot of speculation that you can go from this. This has so far been my longest video so far because I actually had to make 2 parts for this. And I just had a lot of fun with it. So, yeah. And I know a lot of people really hate Yu-Gi-Oh! But for me, one of the major playing points in my childhood. Made me get my first friend. I enjoyed the show. I wanted to look more in the Japanese version. I enjoy the card game probably better than Magic the Gathering. I like the speed of it, and I just love it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed these videos, and hopefully if you are big into Yu-Gi-Oh, maybe you enjoyed the ideas and maybe a trip down memory lane of these two cards. And maybe if you didn't know much about Yu-Gi-Oh, maybe you had some kind of, oh, that's a cool moment there. So yeah, this is probably going to be my longest video. Thanks for watching, and have a good day. Hey guys, I'm posting this video, or this after talk, just wanting to say thank you for the support you guys have shown so far. And even though there's only 6 or 10 people who are actually watching this, and the few subscribers I actually have, I'm really thankful for you guys putting the time and effort to watching these videos. I just really happy, I really have fun doing this, and I really want to do a lot more of this. And thank you just so much for all your support. This is by far my longest video, and even though I'm only 4 videos in, or I guess 3 if you count these as just parts, I still want to thank you so much. And I owe you guys a lot of gratitude. So thank you. Enjoy this picture of my cat.